This is not. This isn't plugged in. Okay, Jordan Green taking the ball here right to left as the Cats open up here against the Buena Colts. Buena coming in at 18-2. The Bobcats 13-6. Brevin Burnett for 3. And he's on the board early here for Cienega. Jason Miller, along with Jacob Greenberg here from Cienega.
Glad to be here.
Jacob, we saw Buena play last year. We saw them play twice. We went down to Buena to do that game, and then we saw Buena up here at Cienega. Yeah. Both games were close. Buena won at their house, and Cienega won their game at their house, although Buena was missing one of their 2 big scorers, Dominic Mooney Jr., number 24, who's a senior. So that has to factor into what happened last year, and we'll see what happens here tonight. But Buena, very well coached, coming in at 18-2. Dave Glasgow always has his team very competitive, and they've got 2 or 3 really solid scorers, 2 from the outside, 1 on the inside down to the post. Quiet here as Kalani Hedden steals the ball, passes it over to Isaiah Buster. Cats have some good size out there on the floor. Kalani Hedden, 45, the senior. Brevin Burnett, 35, the senior. Isaiah Buster, number 10, the senior. 3 big bodies out there. Jordan Green, the senior at point guard. And Javi Summers, also there at shooting guard, the senior as well. So a lot of senior leadership out there. 5 seniors on the floor. Summers with the jumper, off. Hedden battling for the ball, and it's rebounded there by Cyrus Thomas, the 6'5", senior center for Buena. Oh, beautiful feed there. Thomas finding on the scoreboard here early.
And Buena can beat you in a lot of ways. They have some reliable shooters, and then they have Grant Ward and Cyrus Thomas that they don't hesitate to throw it down, and they're pretty good also.
Those guys will be a handful for the Bobcats to defend against tonight. Brevin Burnett down to the post. Nice move there. Turning into the basket and plays it off the glass. He's got 5 points here, accounting for all the Bobcats scoring. Cats up 5-2.
And that's why he's such a great player to have. He's been outside the three-point line. Sometimes he goes inside. He can score from anywhere on the court.
Oh, nice feed there. A little pick and roll. And it's Khalil Gardley, the senior, with the basket. So some nifty passing here early from Buena. It's a 5-4 lead for the Bobcats. 5:30 on the clock, first quarter. Quiet Boyd Baker Gymnasium on the campus of Cienega High School in downtown Vail. Nice little fake there. Kalani Hedden goes with the finger roll, too strong. Rebound and puts it in. Well, that's Kalani's game, is banging down low. A prolific rebounder for the Cats. And answered there quickly by Grant Ward. Grant Ward, number 32, the junior, 6'5", 160. Brevin from downtown, too strong. Rebounded by Chase Smith. Bellinger over to Thomas, and Thomas swings it over to Bellinger. Bellinger from downtown, too strong. Well, he'll shoot from anywhere. I think once he steps out of the locker room, he's pretty much in his range. So he's somebody that is not afraid to pull the trigger, and that was way outside the three-point arc. Shooting 38% on the season for threes. He's attempted now 198 three-pointers on his own. In comparison, the Bobcats have about 220 three-pointers as a team coming into the game. So Bellinger has no conscience out there on the floor in terms of shooting.
Well, the threes are falling for him, and he notched 1,000 points on January 9th as a junior and set to put a lot more points onto that record.
Jordan Green going coast to coast here. Gets fouled, and that foul is on Dominic Mooney. So Mooney, his first personal. That's a first team foul, and Jordan Green will go to the line to shoot 2. 76% from the free throw line for the senior. Well, he's been a 4-year starter from his freshman year when he stepped on the campus here at Cienega High School. He knew that he was going to be starring for this basketball team. So we've seen him develop here over the course of his 4 years. 1 for 2 from the line. The Cats up on top, 8-6. Cyrus Thomas at 6'5", ball handling. Pretty deft handles there for Cyrus. Now Grant Ward back over to Thomas. Dominic Mooney averaging 13 points a game. The fadeaway. And boy, that was a delayed roll. So Mooney with his first basket, averaging 13 points a game. He and Bellinger, the dynamic tandem in the backcourt for the Colts. Bellinger, 19 points a game. There's a rejection by Bellinger. Now the Colts are running. Nice feed, and we have an offensive foul, I think, being called here against the Colts. And it's Grant Ward picking up his first personal foul. So Ward has 1, Dominic Mooney has 1, and the Colts together have 2.
Foul charge to Ward, his first foul, second team foul, Buena.
And with 3:25 on the clock here, we're tied up at 8. 3:20 on the clock. I want to thank Josh Kramer, the director of tonight's broadcast, for setting everything up with his crew from the digital media class at Cienega. And we're happy to bring this game on Bobcat TV tonight. Buster from downtown. Rebounded by Thomas, who gets it over to Mooney. Mooney with a circus shot, no good. The ball tipped in and out. The Colts here rebounding prolifically, but they're having a difficult time converting their layups. And we have a foul now on the Cats. And the foul is on Isaiah Buster. So Buster picks up his first foul. That's a first team foul against Cienega. And Khalil Gardley goes to the line to shoot 2. Too strong on the first one. Khalil's a 41% shooter from the free throw line. Averaging 2.6 points a game. Getting the start here tonight is the senior Khalil Gardley at 6'4", 220-pound center, and he strokes the second one in there. So Khalil's got 3 points. And Buena takes her first lead, 9-8 with 2:40 on the clock here in the first quarter. Trey White, number 11, has subbed in for the Bobcats, as well as Aaron Walker, number 5. Walker gets rejected. Trey White gets rejected on subsequent shots. Krayshawn Lashua Gentry there on the second rejection. The first one, I think, was Cyrus Thomas. Cats reset now on offense. Brevin Burnett, and he charges. And a nice draw there by Krayshawn Lashua Gentry. So Brevin picks up his first foul, and the Bobcats now have 2 team fouls.
That was a good call there.
Then I wonder, Jacob, seeing Buena reject shots on back-to-back attempts, I wonder if that has any effect here on the confidence of the Bobcats taking it into the interior. Pretty decisive rejections from the Colts. Nice crossover and a beautiful reverse layup by Dominic Mooney Jr.
He's got great moves. The Cochise Community College commit. His moves that scare defenders.
He's got 4 points. The pure scorer and a great ball handler, averaging 13 a game. Nice move by Buster, and it's tipped in there by Brevin Burnett. So Brev with 7. Aaron Walker now with the basketball, another senior out there for the Cats. So all seniors here. Aaron for 3. Looked a little hesitant when he pulled the trigger, and it rims in and out. Colts now running. They run tempo here on offense. And we have a foul here going against Jerry White. So Trey picks up his first. 3 team fouls against the Cats. And we have a sub coming in here. Back in for Buena, it's Grant Ward, who started, and now he's coming back onto the floor for the Colts. Keno took the ball strong, and he was fouled in the act of shooting. So Trey White picks up quick 2 fouls here against him. Bellinger from the line is 86%, shoots at a very high percentage.
Bellinger on the line, shooting 2.
Now, Keno went off in the first matchup down at Buena. 26 points, 6 of 12 on 3-pointers. And he shot some from just past the midcourt line. When he came here to Cienega, he scored 0 points. So I'm sure that he was thinking about that coming back into this trip here as a junior. And again, last year, Dominic Mooney did not play up here at Cienega, so I'm sure that was a factor. Jordan Green's 3 is off the mark, rebounded by Mooney. Mooney behind the back dribble in traffic, hangs, shots off. And there's a foul here. We'll see who it goes against. Might be against Kalani Hedden. Let's see what the referee says. Yeah, so that's a foul on Kalani Hedden, so the senior picks up his first. The Cats now have 5 team fouls in a bit of foul trouble here with 43 seconds left in the first quarter. And Mooney goes to the line to shoot 2. And Dominic Mooney Jr. hits the second, so he's got 5 points here, leading Buena. The Bobcats tonight are led by Brevin Burnett with his early 7 points. 14-10 Colts, 34 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Green goes baseline, feeds Burnett, Burnett too strong. Ball's tipped out here to Buena, off and running is Dominic Mooney Jr. In traffic, the trailer there, it's off the mark. And now Cienega, an errant pass there by Javi Summers, easily intercepted by Keno Bellinger. Buena with 11 seconds here. Trying to run one last play. 5 seconds on the clock. His teammates are telling him to go. And Mooney's telling them to relax as he takes the ball into the paint, gets fouled in the act of shooting. And Javi Summers picks up his first foul. So the Bobcats now 6 team fouls. Dominic Mooney Jr., the senior, goes back to the line to shoot 2. Well, I guess we're saying it wasn't a shooting foul, so Buena will inbound the ball with 2 seconds. It'll have to be a quick catch and go. And the clock was off there, so that's interesting. So you don't run the clock until the ball is touched by the player that's out on the floor. And Keno Bellinger was there waiting for the basketball to come to him. So whoever's operating the clock here was a little bit early with the trigger. And you can see Dave Glasgow, the coach from Buena, is upset, as he should be. And also the assistant coach, I think one of the JV coaches, also upset down there at the scorer's table, as they should be. So you don't start that clock until the ball is touched by the player that's out on the floor.
Yeah, and he realized that afterwards down here, and you could just see the frustration in
Coach Glasgow.
Coach Glasgow, Dave Glasgow.
18-2. They were 24-6 last year. So this is a coach that has built quite a program down at Buena. And I believe in his earlier in his coaching career, I want to say a 2-time state champion, I think at the 3A level. And you've got to forgive me here. I want to say at Thatcher, but I may be totally off there with the schools. But Glasgow is an accomplished coach. He's had all kinds of success. And at Buena, he has, he has a stable of athletes that he runs out on the floor, and they love to run tempo. Very athletic, prolific scoring. and they can steal the ball. We've seen them on multiple steals. We've seen them on multiple rejections. So playing some tight defense as well.
Yeah, and he notched his 300th win in the same game that Bellinger got his 1,000th point at Ironwood Ridge. Up to 302 now.
Nice. Nice accomplishment, a nice milestone for a coach to have. The Colts here in their midnight blue jerseys and shorts. Into traffic there, no call.
And it looks like number 34, Cyrus Thomas, just lost it there. That's what the Bobcats seem to be complaining about.
Well, this is a big game in terms of PowerPoint ramifications. The shot there was tipped in by Warden and it rimmed out. Kalani Hedden rebounded it, and then Jordan Green is fouled in the lane.
Foul charge to Bellinger.
All right, so Keno Bellinger here picks up his first foul. First personal, 3 team fouls going against Buena. And Jordan hits the free throw. He has 2 points tonight. He was 1 for 2 from the line earlier. And he's shooting 76%, is the senior, number 3. And he drains the second one. So Jordan has 3 points, all from the free throw line. Ooh, you heard a rejection there. And I also heard some contact there, hand on wrist. So Kalani Hedden will pick up a foul. That's his second. 7th team foul against the Cats, and Dominic Mooney Jr. will go to the line to shoot 2.
He's been up there multiple times now. You can just tell when he drives, he has the ability to draw fouls and put it in the bucket.
That's quite an asset to have for a great ball handler and a good shooter, to be able to draw contact and get points from the free throw line with regularity. So that first free throw rims out. Mooney's got 5 points here tonight. Hits the second free throw. And now Buena 15-12 up as Khalil Gardley subs back in, and he'll spell Dominic Mooney Jr., who will take a minute on the bench here to catch his breath. Jordan Green, the step back 3, rims in and out. Rebounded by Bellinger. Keno down in the paint, loses control of the basketball. And we have a jump ball here, and the Bobcats on possession will take over. So they have the possession arrow going their way. Isaiah Buster inbounds to Jordan Green. 15-12, Buena up on top with 6:40 on the clock here in the second quarter. Aaron Walker thought about pulling the trigger from the corner. He's got a tall defender on him in Cyrus Thomas. Brevin Burnett down in the low post. Spins. We saw that move twice. And a great move by Brevin Burnett, who's got 9 points here. The exact same move we saw earlier, even on the larger defender in Cyrus Thomas. And there's a quick basket by Grant Ward. So Grant's got 4. Buena now 17-14 with 5:55 on the clock in the second quarter. There's some banging down there in the low post. And Jordan tried to find Brevin Burnett, and he was saying the ball was kicked, and now we have a foul going the other way. That's on Javi Summers, his second. So Keno Bellinger forcing the action there into the paint. 86% from the line. He's got 4 points tonight, including 2 from the free throw line. Bellinger short on the first attempt.
For Cienega.
And as you noted, there's some bumping down here with Gardley and Burnett, and that's going to be a matchup to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Two guys that are similar size in terms of their height. Carson Mott, number 22, is checked in, the sophomore. 6'2", strong shooter from the outside. Getting some minutes here at the varsity level as a sophomore. And you know, next year as a junior, he'll play significantly more minutes. So Isaiah Buster was trying to find Burnett there with the bounce pass, and they're calling a kick here against Khalil Gardley. Out on the floor, number 14, Nomar Rodriguez, the junior guard. And back on the floor is Dominic Mooney Jr., number 24. Inbound pass is stolen there by Mooney, who hesitates, draws the foul on Buster, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So the Cats now have 9 fouls. So Buena's in the bonus, and one more foul, they'll be in the double bonus here with 5:18 in the second quarter. Mooney hits the first free throw. He's got 7 points tonight. Misses the second free throw. Nearly gets the rebound there on hustle alone. Jordan Green in traffic, has the ball rejected. It was Grant Ward on the block. Possession remains here with Cienega. And we see some chippiness here.
Yep.
Among the referee, Jordan Green, one of the Buena players. They're jawing down there, down on the baseline. Aaron Walker thought about pulling the trigger. Now gets it over to Carson Mott. Over to Brevin Burnett, top of the key. Carson pulls the trigger, and he swishes it. So there's Carson with a 3. That's a nice boost there for the sophomore. Cats narrow the gap to 1. It's 18-17 Buena with 4:36 on the clock. And Jordan Green stepped on the line, so Buena will retain possession here. They sub back in Keno Bellinger and Kayshawn Lashwood Gentry. So Buena running a rotation about 8 players deep here, and they can go deeper than that. Cienega plays a tighter rotation with their lineup. Too strong on the first attempt, and Cyrus Thomas there with the easy putback, his first basket of the night. Buena's up 20-17. Aaron Walker for 3. The bank's open. Well, it's 8 o'clock at night, but apparently the bank has stayed open for late.
And playing on the JV team last year, he did a great job. But now as a senior at the varsity level, he's unbelievable. He's made a great impact on this team.
7.5 points a game. 5 rebounds a game for Aaron Walker, and he'll take that 3 off the glass. Well, we have some disgruntled fans here. They're calling a foul here on Carson Mott. So Carson picks up his first. Brevin Burnett had a clean block, certainly. And Khalil Gardley will go to the line to shoot 2. 41% from the free throw line. And we're tied at 20. Gardley gets the roll.
White checking back in for Cienega.
He has 4 points tonight. Trey White, number 11, the senior, back on the floor. And Gardley drains the second one. So 5 points tonight, including 3 free throws for the 41% shooter from the line. Trey White took a year off, came back out as Jordan Green buries the 3.
Yeah, and he's had a lot of intensity, Jerry White. Coming off that Final Four football team, he's had a lot of intensity playing defense for the Bobcats.
And Dominic Mooney answers back. So this is something that Mooney and Bellinger are happy to do, is trade three-pointers and get into a shootout. Burnett to the line. He'll shoot a free throw here as he converts the basket, fouled in the act of shooting. And that foul's on Khalil Gardley. So Khalil picks up his first. That's 4 fouls here going against Buena. Brev here, very active tonight with the points. He's got 11 here, and Cienega calls a 30-second timeout.
It seems like Gardley's having a little bit of trouble time guarding Burnett. Burnett just looks a little bit stronger than him and is driving on him, post moving on him, and he's getting points into the free throw line.
Well, Gardley's listed at 6'4". Brevin, I was told, is 6'5". His height and weight are not listed on the roster. Not sure why that is, but it looks like Brevin might just have a little bit more mass than Gardley does, and I think he has certainly a little bit of a height advantage over Gardley as well, maybe an inch or so. But just looking at them physically, it looks like Brevin has just more mass to him, more muscle mass. So that might be why Gardley's having some issues trying to cover and guard Brevin Burnett. So Brevin Burnett now with 12 points. He leads all scorers out on the floor. And he's showing off some deft moves down in the low post. Bobcats reclaim the lead 26-25. 3 minutes on the clock here, second quarter. Wide open three for Lashua Gentry. Off. Jordan Green tries to bounce it to Carson Mott, and Quayshawn Lashua Gentry kicks the ball defensively. So pretty smart move there by a defender. His team was reeling slightly, trying to get back on defense. Brevin Burnett down in the low post. Outside to Mott. Mott swings it to Buster. And Buster was trying to find Jordan Green. He was fortunate not to have that pass intercepted by Quayshawn Lashua Gentry. So both teams are laden with upperclassmen. The Bobcats at the moment have 4 seniors on the floor, and the precocious sophomore Carson Mott, number 22. Green hesitation. Trey White was there to follow it up, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. And Cyrus Thomas picks up a foul, so that's his first. Buena has 5 team fouls. The Cats have 10 against them, so Buena's in the double bonus. Anytime there's a foul, Buena will shoot 2 free throws. Trey White hits the first free throw.
Checking back in for Cienega.
45% from the free throw line. And his first point of the night as Carson Mott gets a nice hand coming off the floor onto the bench. Trey's second free throw, in and out. Bellinger's 3 is off, and he was way beyond the three-point arc as well in that shot. So again, Keno Bellinger, the junior, he will air it out and bombs away anywhere out on the floor.
You got to play tight on him everywhere on the floor.
And just because some of those shots don't look good doesn't mean that he's not dangerous, because he'll continue to shoot and shoot at a high percentage. Again, 38% from the three-point line. That's a strong percentage for a high school kid. Mooney around the screen, saying he got fouled in the act of shooting. The refs didn't call that one. Trey White here handling the basketball, hands it over to Brevin Burnett. And Brev shoots a 3. The roll's off. Walker was battling for the rebound. Cyrus Thomas came up with it. And now he finds Keno Bellinger. Bellinger trapped, loses the ball, and Trey White calls a timeout. So 1:26 on the clock here, and the Cats will call a 30-second timeout.
And that's the energy I'm talking about. He just dives for the ball. He's got a lot of hustle, and he's learned a lot from football.
You wonder if you could have tipped that out to somebody to conserve one of those timeouts. Are you in favor of calling a timeout in that situation? I mean, we're in the second quarter here. Cats up 27-25. But good hustle. And Trey White took a year off last year as a junior to focus on football. He had a nice season as a receiver for that Final Four Bobcat team that was so close to going to the state title game. You see Matt Johnson having a conversation with one of the referees.
Yeah, and he hasn't been happy with that particular ref this
season?
This game.
Oh, this game,
yeah,
okay.
actually this season also.
Because a lot of the officials you'll see on multiple games.
Yeah.
Nice feed there. Burnett finding Walker streaking down the lane. And I think we have a loose ball foul here going against Buena.
This ref right here coming up to give the signal. He's been at a lot of the games. A lot of the Cienega games.
Well, he seems solid to this point. So the fouls against Keno Bellinger picks up his second. And Buena has 6 team fouls. Buster was driving baseline, lost the handle. And I think we have a foul here going against Aaron Walker. Looks like a little bit of a frustration foul. All right, so it's Isaiah Buster on the foul. So Isaiah, now he's got 3 fouls. He's in some serious jeopardy here. So I'd imagine you've got to protect him and get him off the floor with 1 minute and 9 seconds left here. Unless Matt Johnson trusts him enough to stay out of trouble.
And he's one of those players that was on the JV team like Aaron Walker last year, and he's made a big impact also. He almost broke the points record in a game against Douglas, but they sat him out because they were up by so much.
Isaiah did.
Isaiah Buster.
That's interesting. State champion in volleyball. Talking about state champs in volleyball, there's Carson Mott back on the floor. He'll spell Isaiah Buster, so to protect him, and that second free throw went in. And I forget who was at the line there for Buena as Jordan Green takes it for an easy 2.
The frustration there from Glasgow is no one's there to contend Jordan Green's.
There's a 3 from Dominic Mooney Jr., his second 3. Big time score. Score's tied up here at 29 with 37 seconds on the clock in the second quarter. Green from downtown. And he answers back.
They're trading.
Jordan's got 11. Mooney in traffic. Nice dish to the interior. And it's converted by Khalil Gardley.
Those big men down low for Buena, they're playing well. They're getting putbacks, they're getting offensive rebounds. They're doing a good deal for this.
They are, and the guards from Buena are able to find them. We've seen some bounce passes, some whip passes down in the paint. 6 seconds on the clock here. Jordan Green's got to look to shoot from downtown, and it's off. So the Cats here will cling to a 1-point lead, 32-31, going into halftime. In terms of foul trouble, Isaiah Buster is the only player on the floor to have 3 fouls. Jerry White has 2, Carson Mott 1, Javi Summers 2, Brevin Burnett 1, Kalani Hedden with 2. For Buena, Keno Bellinger has 2. He's the only player who's in any kind of trouble. Dominic Mooney has a single foul. Quayshawn Lashua Gentry has 1, Grant Ward has 1, and Khalil Gardley has a foul.
And like you said Bellinger didn't score last time he came here.
Correct.
So he hasn't got off to a great start right now, and 4 points. You know, he's already scored 1,000 points as a junior, so you'd think there'd be more. So maybe it's somewhere about this gymnasium.
Maybe the traveling. I mean, we're talking about like maybe by bus it might be about an hour and maybe about an hour and 15 minutes or so, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. But Bellinger, you're right, averaging 19.7 points a game, the junior, and he has been off to a quiet start here tonight. But I would be leery of him in the second half because he has the potential to go off at any point in time. And we saw that with Dominic Mooney Jr. as well, who's got 13 points here. So those two guys in tandem are just dynamite. So something to watch out for here in the second half.
Yeah, Mooney's not having trouble driving the ball. He had that three-point bomb, and then he's living at the free throw line.
Is there anything that you wanted to talk about here?
Yeah, so great story for Buena's program. A player by the name of Mark Matthews signed a pro contract with the Tall Timbers, a team in Tasmania. He has the school record of 1,374 points from 2009 to 2012 and received one D1 offer from Montana State where he had 1,280 points, including 222 three-pointers. Current Buena star Keno Bellinger has a personal connection with Matthews, as Matthews became his mentor as they met when Keno was in 7th grade at the Boys and Girls Club.
Nice.
On January 9th, Bellinger broke 1,000 points as Matthews was there to witness and is on pace to beat his mentor's record.
Yeah, it sounds like you're talking about he's over 1,000 points already.
Yes.
You've got games to play here, including playoffs, which they'll be in, and they have a team that can make a deep run in the playoffs, and then certainly next year as a senior. So you would imagine that he would eclipse that record, assuming that he stays healthy.
Yeah, Matthews is set to go out to Tasmania on January 18th, here in a couple of days, and still attends Buena practices and catches up with Coach Glasgow in the meantime. He said his ultimate goal is to play in the NBA and said coming from a small town doesn't stop you from achieving your goal.
That's awesome. That's a great story. Great job researching that. So Tasmania, that's a city in Australia, is that right?
Australia.
Are they the Devils, the Tasmanian Devils? Is that their team nickname?
Tall Timbers.
The Tall Timbers. Nice. So Jacob Greenberg, along with Jason Miller, are looking at the PowerPoint rankings that are here. Deer Valley, the Skyhawks, are 10-1, so they're first in PowerPoint rankings. Sunny Slope, the Vikings of Sunny Slope, the defending state champions, are ranked second. Buena is third, Cienega's fourth, Saguaro's fifth. So this game here tonight has major PowerPoint bonus attached to it, so the victor will get a huge boost here in terms of PowerPoints, and they would probably flip. If Cienega were to beat Buena, they would probably leapfrog them and go into third place. Saguaro, who beat Cienega, and I believe Buena beat Saguaro, so these teams have played each other and they've kind of beaten each other up a little bit. And I know that Cienega is playing Saguaro on the 25th. They'll come here and play at Boyd Baker Gymnasium. Yep. Cienega will have to travel down to Buena. And Saguaro, I'm not sure if they play them at Buena or at Saguaro, so they have one game left. So those three teams are so tightly clustered together in a stacked 5A Southern region that they play in. It's loaded with talent here. Those three teams all have aspirations of making a deep run in the state playoffs, and they could all do so.
Yeah, and prior to yesterday, I believe Saguaro was 11-0, and they were at McHale Center for the Martin Luther King Classic, and I heard that they lost on the last tip-in to Mountain View.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mountain View Marana.
So that's a game that we've been to in years past, a great event on Martin Luther King Day. Certainly his impact in the civil rights movement as the preeminent leader of the civil rights movement, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and everything that he did to make those things happen. We certainly can't forget about Dr. Martin Luther King. So a great event at McHale Center. And Cienega's girls and boys teams have both been in those games in years past. This year, neither team represented. And it's nice to give other teams from the region an opportunity to play on the bright lights at McHale Center. It's a big deal for those kids, certainly. All right, so we'll take a break. We've got 5 minutes left here in halftime, and the Bobcats at the half are up 32-31. We'll see you in about 5 minutes for the second half of this 5A clash of Southern Region powers. Buena 31, Cienega 32. All right, so second half of action about ready to tip off here. We've got 80 minutes on the
80 minutes.
clock here. They added extra time. It's 32-31, Cienega up on top here. High point scores. Dominic Mooney Jr., number 24, the prolific senior scorer from Buena, leads all scorers with 13 points. Khalil Gardley has 7. He's the second leading scorer for Buena, so that's a surprise for him, above his season average of 2.6 points a game. For the Bobcats of Cienega, Brevin Burnett, 12 points, Jordan Green, 11 points. Not a surprise. Green's the leading scorer, Burnett's the second leading scorer. So those two guys are always used to putting up big numbers for the Bobcats. Brevin Burnett down in the paint, rejected. He goes down hard there. Cyrus Thomas on the block. Wide open 3. Quayshawn Lashwood Gentry rims out. Buster finds Burnett, and he fires a pass there a little too enthusiastically.
Yeah.
Brevin Burnett, I don't want to call it cherry picking. I used to do that in elementary and middle school. But he was just down on the other end of the floor on the offensive end because he lost his footing. So it took him time to get up, but he was wide open there in the paint.
Yeah, he was grimacing while he got up. He's been banged up this season. He's had to sit out some practices because he hasn't felt well.
Do you know the nature of his ailments that he's got going on physically?
I do not. I know in the first game he hurt his shoulder, which kept him out of a lot of practices against Walden Grove. Or
So-
the first regular season game.
Right. Grant Ward back-to-back misses. Buster to Hedden, who streaks down the lane and is fouled in the act of shooting here. So Kalani Hedden will go to the line to shoot 2, and it's a foul on Keno Bellinger. So Keno now has 3 fouls. So he is now officially in foul trouble. 6:59 on the clock here in the third quarter. Cienega on top, 32-31. Kalani from the line is a 56% shooter. Gets the roll on the first one. He's got 3 points now. So you said at Walden Grove was the regular season opener for the Bobcats?
Yes.
Down there at Walden Grove
Yes.
in Saurita. Nice campus. Walden Grove and Saurita both have nice facilities down there. Open space. Kayshawn Lashwood Gentry too strong. Kalani Hedden the rebound. Gets it over to Jordan Green. Green dribbling through traffic. Javi Summers for 3. In and out. Hedden tried to tip it in. And here comes Lashwood Gentry. Actually, that's Grant Ward on the basket. So Grant Ward going coast to coast. And Grant's got 6 points.
Yeah, he's fast coming down the court.
Fast.
Green tried to swipe at it, and he got the open layup.
Brevin Burnett down in the paint. Nice composure for him to reset himself and not hurry it. He backed up and then had an easy layup.
I don't believe they have somebody that can guard him. They've tried
I don't think so.
number 42, Gardley, and now they have someone with a little bit skinnier and shorter in Grant Ward.
Yeah, Gardley couldn't guard him. And now they've got Grant Ward, 6'5", but 160. And we have a foul here on the floor. So Javi Summers now, another foul against him. So he's got 3. The Cats here in the second half now have their first team foul. So 1 team foul for Buena, 1 team foul for Cienega as Aaron Walker checks back in on the floor. And Javi Summers has to take a breather here with 3 fouls. Oh, errant pass there. Jordan Green is fouled. Kalani took a heavy fall there as he was elevating to try to follow up the miss. Quayshawn Lashwood Gentry, and that's his first personal foul. Second team foul against Buena, and we have a timeout here, I think taken by the Colts. So 36-33 with 5:40 on the clock here. Bobcats up on top. But you're right, Jacob. I don't think that Buena has a player physically that can match up with what Brevin Burnett brings And it's not that Burnett is, well, first of all, he's showing some deft moves down in the low post. And he's shown some composure and some poise here with some extra dribbles, extra head fakes, and then he's going very aggressively to the rack. So in terms of height, they've got guys that might be able to match him, but I don't think they have somebody in terms of his stature and the mass that he brings down in the low post. So they're having a difficult time trying to figure that one out. And it's smart for the Bobcats to continue feeding Brevin Burnett down in the paint.
Very smart.
So 36-33, the Cats on the floor. Aaron Walker, the senior. Isaiah Buster, the senior. Jordan Green, the senior. Kalani Hedden, the senior. And Brevin Burnett, seniors all for the Cats. Buena has Kayshawn Lashua Gentry, who's a senior. Grant Ward, a junior. Cyrus Thomas, a senior. Dominic Mooney Jr., the senior. And Keno Bellinger, the junior. So juniors and seniors aplenty out on the floor. First free throw from Jordan Green is off. He's got 11 points all in the first half, averaging 22 points per game. And he converts the second free throw. He's got 12 now. Dominic Mooney Jr., a dangerous player with the basketball in his hands. Nice pass there, and a beautiful feed to Grant Ward. So Keno Bellinger along the baseline and a nice pass to Grant Ward. Ward's got 8. Burnett off. Isaiah Buster now. Aaron Walker in traffic, and they've got him for steps here. So he was in among the trees and maybe a little bit nervous. Did a good job getting the rebound, but he shuffled the feet. Three-pointer from Dominic Mooney Jr. Air ball. You hear the serenading there from the student section. I have to say, we're looking at maybe 40 students in that student section.
Yeah.
A small number. Not a lot of fans out here tonight on a Tuesday.
You wouldn't have thought that for a game like this.
Right, a game of this magnitude with the third ranked team in 5A in Buena and the fourth ranked team in 5A in Cienega.
Two powerhouses.
Absolutely. Jordan lost the handle. Here's the outlet to Cyrus Thomas for the jam. Two hands and Thomas throws it down. And we're tied at 37. Well, you got oohs and ahs from everybody here inside the building. Anytime somebody throws one down, it's a big deal. Jordan Green for 3, way downtown.
Imagine if we were in Sierra Vista.
Right. Jordan's got 15. The Cats reclaim the lead, 40-37. 4:13 on the clock, third quarter. Thomas from the free throw line connects.
And now they're finding a groove here offensively.
They are. Cyrus Thomas with 6 points on back-to-back possessions, a two-handed jam, and showing the range there on the jump shot. Jordan from downtown. Too short. Good hustle there, and the ball just ekes out of bounds. Great effort by Khalil Gardley, who had time, and I think his coach is a little bit frustrated. But Gardley giving it all of his effort, and the ball just rolled slowly out of bounds. The Bobcats now with possession. 3:40 on the clock, up 40-39. Isaiah Buster has a good handle for being a big guy. I think of him as an interior player, but I'm sure that kid ran point when he was a youngster. Brevin Burnett goes up. Nice pass there from Buster to Burnett. And good vision from Isaiah Buster. Brevin's got 16. Jump shot from Thomas, rebounded by Aaron Walker. Now in the hands of their point guard, Jordan Green. Oh, nice crossover, left his man in the dust. Couldn't hit the jump shot. Dominic Mooney Jr. now with the basketball. Behind the back, pulls up for 3. Just grazes the front of the rim. But there for the rebound was Cyrus Thomas.
Now charged to Hayden, his third foul. Second team foul, Cats.
Who was that foul against? Was that Hedden? Kalani Hedden?
Not sure.
So I think Kalani picks up his third foul. The Bobcats here now have their second team foul. And the Colts inbound it. Grant Ward over to Thomas. Thomas inside the arc. Misses on the jump shot. Trey White fortunate not to be called for over the back there. And we have a foul going instead against Khalil Gardley. So Khalil picks up his second personal foul. Buena now has 3 team fouls. Trey White inbounds to Javi Summers. Summers has those pink shoes. He's bad on the floor. The senior here in traffic, and he's fouled as he drives toward the basket. The foul will go against Keno Bellinger. Well, Keno's got 4. So Keno's got to come off the floor here. Interesting, last year, 0 points here at Cienega. Tonight, 4 points here. And maybe a lack of understanding here and awareness of game situations to pick up 4 fouls with 2:46 on the clock here in the third quarter. Big loss here for the Colts. Javi Summers buries the 3.
And this season, he's been very consistent from range.
32% on the year. His first points of the night. Cats' biggest lead at 6, 45-39, 2:30 on the clock. Nice feed to Grant Ward. Sorry, Cyrus Thomas on the basket. So Cyrus has 8 points now. But a beautiful pass there. Trey White airballs his jump shot. And Mooney finding Gardley. So Dominic Mooney Jr. on back-to-back possessions with beautiful passes. Gardley's got 9 points for the Colts. Javi, the fadeaway, is off. Jordan Green gets set to check back in. Isaiah Buster will come off the floor. The Bobcats here a 2-point lead, 45-43. Dominic Mooney Jr., 16 points, has his pocket picked. Aaron Walker goes up for the layup, and it's good. And he slides all the way to the wall, past the baseline. Great job there by Aaron Walker. 5 points now. The Cats a 4-point lead at 47-43. Khalil Gardley's jumper is too strong. Brevin Burnett easy rebounds. And now Jordan Green winning point for the Cats. Brevin in the paint there, trying to pass as moving. And the referee saying that he traveled on. I wasn't watching very closely. Was that a violation, Jacob? 3-pointer. Kayshawn Lashua Gentry. His first points of the night.
He's that player that every highlight you see is a 3-pointer.
Strokes to 3. So Aaron Walker now with 8 points. And some tenacious defense there from Aaron Walker. And now he's jawing here with Kayshawn Lashua Gentry. And it's close to being a scrap here as Trey White steps up. And Trey's certainly a good talker. Not the kind of communication we want to see here at a 5A basketball game. You have to remember the mantra here, the Arizona Interscholastic Association, victory with honor. We want our players and our student athletes to compete, certainly, but we want to see them exhibit exemplary sportsmanship. Not seeing that here on that possession. Aaron Walker, give him credit for his tenacity on defense, but maybe pushing a little bit too far there, the envelope, and then Trey throwing in his 2 cents. So the referees here quickly intervening. You see Ron Burton, campus response team security guard in charge of security on the campus of Cienega High School. The mayor of Vail, I will call him, such a social cat, knows everybody in Tucson and the surrounding, I would say, in Pima County. So Ron Burton made a beeline across the floor to make sure everything was under control. So it's nice to see that we sorted things out. Dave Glasgow called a timeout to settle his guys down. 22 seconds on the clock here. Dominic Mooney Jr., and he's fouled here, and I think that's against Javi Summers.
It is.
He's got 4 now, so Javi has to take a seat. And he's frustrated. He's going to have to sit out most of the fourth quarter, and they'll probably bring him in late, depending on the situation here. So the Cats now have 3 team fouls. Buena has 4. Kayshawn Lashua Gentry here, the athletic senior, on the inbound. And we have a foul here before the pass comes in.
And you can see the referees are cracking down now after that little.
Aaron Walker picks up his first personal foul. And Kayshawn Lashua Gentry from the corner. Off. Nice rebound there by Khalil Gardley. Banging down low. Misses. Aaron Walker the rebound, and now a technical foul. So Aaron Walker had the rebound, and he traveled as he hit the floor, and now I think we have a technical foul here going against Aaron Walker. So his second personal foul, and he's upset, and I think he has some justification. He was dumped pretty hard down to the floor. He slammed the ball down in frustration, and that's what merited the technical foul. And I think that Aaron justifiably was upset, thinking that there was some contact as he came down with the rebound. Dominic Mooney Jr. on the technical free throw, and he misses that. As you see the Bobcat student section, some 40 strong, making an awful lot of noise over there. Mooney 61%, so a low percentage from the line for a guard who scores like he does. And he drains the second one, and he tells the student section to shh, be quiet. Mooney now with 17 points. It's a 3-point game. Cienega's on top, 50-47. Inbound pass here goes to Dominic Mooney Jr. 5 seconds on the clock. Mooney down low. Trey White intercepted it and tipped it out, and the Cats will hold on to the ball as we end the third quarter with the Bobcats clinging to a 3-point lead, 50-47. Some fireworks there in the third quarter.
Number 42, Khalil Gardley, he's playing well. He's
he
aggressive, and that's big in a game like this.
Yeah, 9 points for him, right? So the senior coming in here, just 2.6 points a game on the average. So 9 points for him, a couple of rejections, and then some rebounds. So an interior presence. We've seen him with some nifty moves in the post. We've seen him showing his range on the jump shot from around the elbow and the free throw line. So it's been an interesting game here, and certainly so much at stake here in terms of PowerPoint rankings and playoff seedings down the line here. As we go into, I think, the last third of the season for these teams in 5A. Kayshawn Lashua Gentry, Dominic Mooney Jr. now with the basketball. Well, the student section engaged with Dominic Mooney Jr., and now he's engaging back with them. And I think he's the kind of player that you don't want to really get irritated. Nice defense. Brevin Burnett comes down with the basketball. Now he has his pocket picked, goes hard down to the floor, and the Cats retain possession. Good hustle there. Mooney and Lashua Gentry both trailing the play. And now I know what guards look at when I have the basketball off a rebound and I'm trying to dribble down the floor. It's very inviting, that high dribble there. And Mooney with a good job of picking his pocket. Jordan Green now strong to the rack. Fouled in the act of shooting. It'll be Grant Ward here drawing the foul. and that will be his second.
Foul charge to Ward.
Buena now has 5 team fouls.
Green on the line, 2-2.
Conversely, the Bobcats with 5 team fouls as well, so all even on the team foul ledger as Jordan Green goes to the line. He's got 15 points here tonight, misses the first free throw. Cienega up on top, 50-47, with 7:12 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. The JV game was a barn burner. It went to overtime, and the Bobcats won that game in overtime as Jordan hits the second free throw. He's got 16 points. The Cats have a 4-point lead. Aaron Walker matching up against Grant Ward. Mooney with a beautiful feed to Grant Ward, who converts the layup. And Grant's got 10. Jordan lost the handle, and you saw Aaron Walker and Dominic Mooney Jr. there hand-checking one another, trying to go for that loose basketball. The Bobcats will retain possession. As Cyrus Thomas reties his left shoe. He threw down a spectacular two-handed dunk in the second quarter tonight. Brevin Burnett down has position in the interior. The bounce pass from Trey White is intercepted by Mooney. Mooney behind the back. Beautiful spin dribble there, and then he lost the handle. Yeah. So on such nifty ball handling moves there, and Mooney was saying that he got pushed there by the forearm by Trey White, no call.
And it's not the time of the game for Brevin Burnett to be walking up the court. He didn't like the pass from Jerry White, and he just was walking up the court.
So back on defense, you're saying trying to recover on defense, he should have been hustling down the floor. Trey White in the corner. Now he has another pass, a bounce pass intended for Brevin. And now they have Kayshawn Lashua-Gentry in a trap, and Kayshawn calls a timeout. So Lashua-Gentry there on the steal. So back-to-back possessions, and Jerry White is trying to find Brevin Burnett. Bounce passes, both intercepted by Buena, who very good defensively in terms of steals, generating turnovers, and also generating their own assists on their offensive end. A really talented ball handling team is Buena. Well, Jacob, I know it's not going to be this quiet down at Buena. So when Cienega travels down there, they're going to be facing a hostile, energized arena.
Yeah, and they have a huge stands, and it fits in a lot of people.
It is.
And I remember last time it was like neon out or something. It was their Spirit Week, and a lot of student sections showed up.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was like an early '90s flashback. And you're right. It's a cavernous gymnasium. I would say probably about twice the size in terms of capacity as Cienega's Boyd Baker Gymnasium. So a huge gym down at Buena, and the community comes out to support their basketball team because there's such a strong program and knowledgeable, passionate fans. So a very difficult place to play. I think it's an illegal screen here by Khalil Gardley, so he's called for his third foul. Dave Glasgow here, very upset. He stomps his foot in frustration. Bobcats here cradling a 2-point lead, 51-49, 5:30 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Ball intercepted, some errant passing here from the Bobcats. Dominic Mooney Jr., the spin into the lane. The shot's no good, but he is fouled in the act of shooting. So he'll go to the line to shoot two. Jordan Green picks up his first foul of the game. 6 team fouls going against the Cats. And Keno Bellinger gets set to check back into the game here. The talented junior, just 4 points tonight, all in the first half. He's been saddled with foul trouble. Mooney hits the free throw. He's got 18 points. And a chance to tie it here, and he does on the second free throw. 51-51, 5:25 on the clock. Oh, Jordan with a bad pass there. Kayshawn Lashwood-Gentry finds Dominic Mooney Jr. for the basket. And what is Dominic signaling there with his left hand? Do you know what that means, Jacob? He's got his left hand extended up.
I do not.
Nice pass. Isaiah Buster to Aaron Walker. Aaron's got 10 points. I can see what you're talking about with the energy that he brings to this team. Oh, another nice feed on the interior. And the layup was not converted by Cyrus Thomas. Mooney's got 21 points here. He's leading all scorers out on the floor. Well, there's a three by Bellinger, but I think he stepped on the line out of bounds, which is a shame because he was so composed. And you can see that stroke that he's got from the arc, 38% three-point shooter.
And that gives the Bobcats a note defensively to play tight on him now because he might be starting to get hot.
And that's a correction. He didn't step out of bounds. Grant Ward, oh, a beautiful layup there by Jordan Green. And an errant pass from Buena, and now they're calling it Buena possession here. So on the previous possession by the Colts, it was Grant Ward on a screen, the illegal screen, picking up his third foul. Now we have a referee here making a correction. The ball was off Buena is what it was ruled. So now Cienega will have the basketball. Every possession huge, of course. A 2-point game, 4:20 on the clock in the fourth quarter. Bobcats on top, 55-53.
That's one of the hardest things to do as a ref, to change a call, because you're just getting the other head coach to get mad at you.
Right, knowing that you're going to have everybody upset at you.
Yeah.
Difficult job refereeing. Never popular. Oh, beautiful pass there. The extra pass from Bellinger to Thomas, and Thomas is fouled. And that's the second foul here going against Jordan Green. So it's nice to see here what Bellinger can do. We haven't seen him that much out on the floor, especially in the second half. He's been out virtually the entire second half with 4 fouls. But we've seen here on back-to-back possessions, a three-pointer and a beautiful pass behind his back to Cyrus Thomas. And Cyrus hits the first free throw. He's got 9 points here tonight. 6'5" senior. And he hits the second free throw. He's got 10 now. Back to a 2 top. Jordan Green for 3. And he drains it. Jordan's got 23 points. Oh, open shot here. Lashwood-Gentry, the extra dribble, and he buries the 3. Kayshawn Lashwood-Gentry has 6 points, both on threes, both in the second half.
That ball fake did it right there.
Jordan Green for 3, answers back, and he's feeling it. 26 points for Jordan Green. Jumper is off by Lashwood-Gentry. Actually, that was Grant Ward on the miss. Jordan Green from downtown. And we've got a reach-in foul, I believe, here. So Kalani Hedden is called for the foul, and he's got 4 now. And I think a little incredulous because he was holding his throat as if he was being throttled by one of the Colts players. So Kalani emerges from that, wondering how could that foul be on me. Trey White will sub in here for Kalani, trying to protect Kalani from fouling out of the game. It gets some encouragement here from Matt Johnson and Farbad Safavi, the coach and assistant coach for the Cats, as Mooney hits the free throw. Mooney's got 22 points. Short gets his own rebound, misses the layup. Oh, and Grant Ward went down hard, fouled in the act of shooting.
And for him to get his own rebound off of his miss, that's crazy with 2 minutes and 42 to go in the fourth.
Well, he wasn't boxed out, so as soon as he released the basketball, he knew it was short, and he streaked down the lane. There was nobody there boxing him out on the left side of the lane, able to pick it up, missed the layup, but a nice job there by Grant Ward to get the rebound, and he'll go to the line to shoot too. And Grant's got 10 points here tonight. Make it 11 now as he strokes the first one. Isaiah Buster has 4 fouls now, so he's in trouble. The Bobcats have 9 team fouls, so Buena's in the bonus. One more foul, they'll be in the double bonus, as Grant Ward connects on both free throws. 12 points for the junior, Grant Ward. Pass down the floor to Burnett, who's fouled. And Dominic Mooney Jr. will pick up his second foul.
Foul calls on Mooney. His second 18 foul. Colts. Burnett on the line. 1-1.
So Mooney's got 2 personal fouls. Buena has 8 team fouls. Brevin Burnett goes to the line for some pressure free throws. Misses the first. Trey White elbowed there, trying to get the rebound, and the Bobcats will have possession as the ball goes out on Cyrus Thomas. So it looks like Thomas threw a little bit of a left elbow, maybe inadvertently, but it knocked Trey White down. Cats on top, 63-61. High inbound pass, corralled by Brevin Burnett, who gets the ball over to Jordan Green. 2:33 on the clock. Green, layup is too soft. And now here comes Buena running again. Lashwood Gentry, guarded by Green, finds Dominic Mooney Jr. inside the three-point line. Such deft ball handling. Between the legs, behind the back, left-handed, right-handed, crossover. Showing it all here is Dominic Mooney Jr. And he lost it there. And he was bailed out. He had a foul called on the reach here from Jordan Green. And Green picks up his 3rd foul. So Jordan Green, who had no fouls, picks up 3 here, all in the 4th quarter. And now Buena is in the double bonus with 10 team fouls going against the Bobcats. And Dominic Mooney, who's been at the line often here tonight, goes back to shoot 2. Chance to tie the ball game up. And he hits the first.
And he can put his bed, his refrigerator, his TV there because he's been there all night.
Yeah, he's just been hanging out. Hits both. Javi Summers back on the floor for the Cats. Great ball handler is the senior. Trey White now handling the basketball. Cats have a man open if they can find him here as Buena's defense scrambles back. Nice pass. Isaiah Buster to Trey White. The backdoor pass was beautiful. Trey's first basket of the night. He's got 3 points. Bobcats a 2-point lead, 65-63. Mooney Jr. for 3, yes! And he's gesturing over to the Bobcats on the far side. Nate Amico, Gio Owens, Terrell Huggins, all football players over there. Rodney Rogers getting in the mix. Buena, 1-point lead. Beautiful pass to Isaiah Buster on the layup. And now the Cats will call a timeout. And they retake the lead at 67-66. But Isaiah Buster here tonight showing the vision. The kid must have been a point guard when he was in elementary and middle school because he has great court vision and he's got great handles with the basketball. Dominic Mooney Jr. thought about pulling it. Kayshawn Lashwood Gentry off. Trey White the rebound. Finds Jordan Green. Jordan Green now coming down the floor here. Crosses the timeline. 45 seconds on the clock in the fourth quarter. The Cats a 1-point lead. And a timeout now taken by Matt Johnson.
And they might just try and drain these 43 seconds.
They could. It's not very exciting basketball, but they could certainly run as much time as they want to on their possession here.
And then you also have the risk of throwing a turnover.
Correct. And Buena, so good defensively, with their quick hands, the opportunity for them to steal and have a breakaway or a fast break would be a danger as well. So some things to consider here, 43 seconds. And I don't know how comfortable the Cats are running that much time off the clock. If you have a team that has 5 great ball handlers on the floor at the same time, that might make more sense. Yeah. But I think if you're Bobcats here from Cienega, you try to run a play and get a basket, and then you put the pressure on Buena and try to play some good defense here. So I think it's just they're so unaccustomed to trying to run so much clock on a possession. It's atypical for high school players to run so much clock time off on possessions. But we even got the reserves here from Buena that are gesturing up to the camera operator up on top here behind us. So everybody kind of getting into the mix here. Some good-natured rivalry and competition. I like to see it. Everybody's into this game here as they should be. We've got a reach-in foul now going against Buena before the throw-in. And Grant Ward on the foul. And Grant now has 4. Well, I've got Grant Ward for 4, so I may have missed here because Tim Nichols, the public address announcer, is saying 3 fouls on Grant Ward. So we'll say 3 fouls on Ward. Jordan Green at the line. Pressure free throws, 76% shooter from the line, and too strong. And the referee was mistaken here. He thought that Cienega was in the double bonus, but it was a 1-and-1. So now Buena will have the inbounds. 38 seconds on the clock. Down by a point. And Buena, conversely, could run clock all the way down if they wanted to. Dominic Mooney Jr., the senior, has been splendid tonight. Beautiful pass in the interior. We've got a reach-in foul here. And a late call going against Trey White, who thought his hand was on top of the basketball, although his hand was wrapped around Cyrus Thomas. So Trey White now picks up his 3rd foul. We know Buena's in double bonus here as Thomas goes to the line, a 59% free throw shooter, and he drains the first. Thomas has 11 points here tonight. A sterling effort for the senior. And in and out with the second free throw. So tied at 67. The Cats here with 23 seconds, and Trey White under pressure. Matt Johnson desperately calling for a timeout with 19 seconds as Trey was in a trap. Well, now with 19 seconds, Jacob, I think it's easier to try to run clock here and have one final possession.
Yep, now they're going to get out that play that they practice in practice, and we might see another overtime here as we did in the JV game.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. Jordan Green, the best ball handler for the Cats. He is their point guard, but he's struggled on subsequent possessions from the free throw line. So missing the first end of a 1-and-1 on subsequent possessions, I believe. So he's the guy that I think you want to have with the basketball in his hands. If you're looking for percentage free throw line, Isaiah Buster at 80% is their best free throw shooter, and then Green at 76%. And then the rest of the guys are down in the 60s, 40s, and 50s. So it's like you have to be careful whom you inbound the ball to and who has the basketball in their hands at any given point in time.
And those free throws you're talking about, that's usually not Jordan Green, because in many games he makes those critical free
He'll
throws.
just drain those free throws.
Yeah, we saw it at Saguaro with a loud crowd. He hit a lot of free throws there at the end and really kept them in the game.
So uncharacteristic maybe tonight from the line. Javi Summers back on the floor for his ball handling. Javi's a 40% shooter from the line as well. And here's Jordan Green with 15 seconds on the clock here in the fourth quarter with the ball in his backcourt as he approaches the timeline. Kayshawn Lashua-Gentry, a great defender, is matching up against him. Seconds on the clock. Jordan Green with 3 seconds, launches the three. It's off. Buster with a desperate throw there towards the basket. And you called it, Jacob. We're going to overtime in back-to-back games, JV and varsity, with extra bonus time here tonight. Oh, my goodness. A 1-minute intermission here between the end of the fourth quarter and overtime. It was a good possession for Cienega. It was a good-looking shot there from Green from outside. And Buster, so aware, so cerebral on the floor. You know, he's a great student academically in the classroom. So he knew how much time was on the clock. A desperation heave with his right hand off of the rebound. And it was a good effort.
And that shot actually that shot has a good chance. It's with your right hand. There's nobody contesting it, and it had a chance. It was just off to the right.
Right, in tip drills and layup drills, any little mini games that you play, like those are often shots you'll try to throw up right-handed or left-handed, depending on the situation. So we'll see here. We've got some players with foul trouble. Keno Bellinger from Buena has 4. Grant Ward, number 32, the junior, has 4 fouls. For Cienega, Isaiah Buster has 4 fouls, Javi Summers has 4 fouls, and Kalani Hedden has 4 fouls. So 3 Cats with 4, 2 Colts with 4. And I think the biggest player of those 5 players would be Keno Bellinger, who's been quiet here tonight, quiet in the second half, and we've seen flashes of his athleticism and talent, what he's able to do here. So he could be a factor here in this overtime period if he stays out of foul trouble and stays on the floor. Oh, there's the tip there, won decisively by Cyrus Thomas, elevating with his left hand. A talented group of athletes out on the floor from both Cienega and Buena. A great game here tonight. Buena ranked 3rd, Cienega ranked 4th.
Are they going to hold it for 4 minutes?
I don't think so.
What are they?
The Hickory Hoosiers might be able to do that. Well, Kayshawn Lashua-Gentry here showing off his dribbling skills. And he had Trey White there reeling on a previous possession. Nice pass to the interior, converted by Cyrus Thomas.
That was all in the master plan.
Thomas with 13. Well, their bigs, very patient, running baseline. Now we have a call here, a blocking foul going against Trey White. So Trey's got 4 fouls.
Fouls on White. His 4 fouls.
And I'm not sure about the bonus situation here in overtime. Do all the team fouls carry over into overtime, Jacob?
I don't know.
Oh, beautiful left-handed move by Dominic Mooney Jr. Having a huge night here for the Colts. 2:30 on the clock. Buena up on top, 71-67. Cats need a basket. Isaiah Buster loses the basketball. And there's the cleanup by Grant Ward. Ward with 14. Aaron Walker for 3. Off. Brevin Burnett in the paint. Misses. Rebounded by Buena. It's a tie-up here, and I think Brevin Burnett will be called for a reach-in foul. And Brevin shaking his head no here. All right, so the bonus situation remains intact as it was, and it will stay the same way here into overtime. Grant Ward from the line is a 50% shooter. He's got 14 points here tonight, so he's put up some big-time points. 15 for Ward. In a 7-point lead here for Buena, their largest lead of the night. Bobcats here losing their composure a little bit here, and it's understandable given the situation. An 8-point deficit, still plenty of time on the clock, 2 minutes. Cats have to run some offense and get a good look. Jordan Green thinks about it, dribbles left, shoots a 3, too short. Rebounded here, Dominic Mooney Jr., alley-oop pass, no good, and it's cleaned up there by Kayshawn Lashua-Gentry. Kayshawn's got 8. Jordan Green the other direction, a blocking foul here by Buena down in the lane. And Dominic Mooney picks up the foul. That's his 3rd foul. Mooney, 26 points here tonight. Big time game. Jordan Green hits the free throw. Jordan Green has 27 points. And he misses the 2nd free throw. And actually, that ball should have been out of bounds because it hit the cable that anchors the basket. Bellinger pulls the 3 off. Great effort there by Ward. Now Bellinger gets it, passes it out, and the Colts reset. Dominic Mooney Jr. follows his own miss. .28 points for Mooney Jr. And we have a foul here going against Cyrus Thomas. His 2nd. I don't want to say it's impossible. The Cats are down 11 points. There's a minute and 1 on the clock here. But they have to do some special things here in this last minute of action as Aaron Walker misses the 1st free throw. Aaron hits the 2nd. Kayshawn Lashua-Gentry here dribbling his way through traffic. And he's fouled here outside. So Brevin picks up his 3rd personal foul. We know both teams are now in the double bonus. So Kayshawn Lashua-Gentry will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws, 67% from the line. Buena a 10-point lead here. Misses the 1st. Well, everything just kind of unraveled here in the overtime period for Cienega. And with 52 seconds on the clock, it's difficult to try to claw back in here. Got to bomb 3s. Jordan Green rebounds. Got to try to find an outlet guy and get a quick basket. Jordan goes coast to coast. Misses the finger roll. Rebounded here by Dominic Mooney Jr. with the great dribbling and the pass here. And the dunk from Grant Ward. Grant Ward, a huge game here tonight for Buena. Brevin Burnett frustrated beyond words here. Picks up his 4th personal foul. .18 points for Grant Ward, who goes to the line to shoot 2. You got some fans here making a slightly early exit here as they head off here trying to beat traffic, I suppose.
Yeah, and this one's going to hurt.
Oh, definitely.
Cienega was up
Yes.
by a short margin as the
Yes.
first one goes in for Ward. The whole game and overtime, they're like circling around. I'm like, what are they doing? They get it to Thomas, and they just took off from there.
Grant Ward with 20 points here tonight. I agree, Jacob. These losses have to sting. There's a three-pointer from Isaiah Buster. Another foul here from Cienega, down 11 points with 21 seconds left. Got a foul here against Aaron Walker, his third personal. And I don't know what else you could say. I mean, in terms of effort, every player that was out on the floor here gave it 100%. So you can't be displeased with the effort that was here. Players might be, if they could nitpick and critique, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. You know, a 1 point would have been the difference in the game here tonight in regulation. So both free throws there. Mooney misses both of them, but what a night he had tonight. Sublime. Isaiah Buster for three. Catch and pop. So Isaiah Buster here with back-to-back threes. An 8-point game. Dominic Mooney Jr. here trying to draw three. We've got a foul here against Isaiah Buster. So Isaiah fouls out. But a nice game here tonight from Isaiah. In terms of rebounding, we saw some great passes from him. And then late here tonight, back-to-back threes. And for the season, 32% from three-point land. So he doesn't shoot that many threes, but he is a competent outside shooter. You just wonder if he might be more involved in future games from shooting from behind the line.
Uh-oh.
What do we have going on here, Jacob? What am I missing?
Don't know.
Well, we know there's a lot of trash talking here between both teams. Dominic Mooney Jr. at the line. It's the free throw.
Oh, they're probably getting ready for the handshake.
29 points for Mooney. Big-time scorer tonight. Picked up the slack. Keno Bellinger coming in was the leading scorer, but Bellinger with just 4 points here tonight. Riddled with fouls. And Dominic Mooney Jr., the leader, the senior on this team, picks up all the slack here offensively for the Colts, comes off with a smile on his face.
Yep, he stepped up for
big time.
Bellinger.
85-75. The Colts of Buena High School ranked third in power points. I can't say that they would climb unless Deer Valley or Sunny Slope were to lose here, but those points that they gained over the Bobcats here in this victory tonight are huge for the Colts.
And I'm glad I can see these two teams meet again because this was a good game.
This is a great game. So it'll be curious to see what happens when you go down to Buena. I mean, you're talking about a team here. You've got to get all kinds of credit here to the Colts, traveling about an hour and a half maybe on the bus to come from Sierra Vista north, maybe northwest, north by northwest, to Cienega High School, and to come out of here with a victory tonight, it's huge. And you know, conversely, when Cienega goes down to Buena, it's going to be a raucous atmosphere. Very difficult place to play. Maybe the most difficult place in Tucson to play, Tucson Sierra Vista. In the area, I would say the region, the most difficult place to play. Wow. Big time game here tonight. Dominic Mooney Jr. with 29 points. And Grant Ward, I think with 18 points tonight, maybe 19 points. Just big time efforts here. And I think that they had maybe a little bit more diversification with their offense. They had more scores, and they really kind of distributed their big time scoring. The Bobcats, conversely, if you look at this team coming in statistically, Jordan Green, the leader, Brevin Burnett, the second leading scorer, and we saw that tonight. Like, that held true here. Aaron Walker had a nice game with 10 points. Isaiah Buster with 6 points late. And that's about it for the scoring. You have a 3 here, a couple of free throws there. And the Cats have, I think, a difficult time trying to figure out if Jordan Green can't get off for his shot. And you know teams game planning to play Cienega. It's like, let's try to slow down Jordan Green and harass him so he can't get clean looks at the basket. And it makes it very difficult. Brevin Burnett early, particularly in the first half, was seeming to have his way. And it was a combination that was working very successfully for him. It was
pure shooter, and that's not the problem for Buena.
Sure. All right, well, we'll sign off here tonight. Jacob Greenberg, great. The Bobcat TV crew and kids, I'm Jason Miller. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. I think Monday we're planning on doing girls soccer.